G'day, mate.
G'day.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I've never had an episode of the Life Outside podcast filmed inside of a vehicle before.
Yeah,
This is a first. We're in your home on wheels. I don't know if you're ready to hard launch the name of your van yet.
Yeah.
Not yet?
No, I think I am. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we're inside
Tilly.
This is Tilly.
Tilly the Toyota.
And we are parked up in Tasman National Park
Yeah.
in Tasmania, right down in the southeast, which is really cool. Cool spot to record a pod. So
Yeah.
excited to chat. We've actually been exploring Tasmania for the last week, which has been really fun.
It's been so epic. Like the
Yeah.
trails that we got, like the trails that we've done these last couple of days.
It's been pretty hectic.
Yeah.
We have some stories, which I'm sure we'll get into. But no, excited to have you on and
Yeah.
dive into your story a little bit. And you've been living in Tilly for how long now?
Almost a couple years now.
2 years
Yeah.
almost?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've spent more and more time outside, it seems, over those last couple of
Yeah.
years as well, which is really cool and super inspiring. And obviously you've been sharing your journey online a bit as well. So I'm sure there's plenty of listeners coming over from your IG
Yeah.
who love what you do, which is really
It
cool.
would be nice to share like a little bit more of my story because there's only so much you can like share on your Instagram. Like obviously it's very like short reels and everything.
A reel
It's
60
nice.
seconds long, you can't really
Yeah.
say much,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's the reason I started the podcast. It's why I love YouTube so much, because you can just share more of you, your story, your thoughts.
The in-depth. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't explain yourself in a 60-second reel. Not well anyway.
No,
So
it's definitely such a cool platform to get into
yeah, exactly.
those stories.
Where did travel, adventure, where did all that start for you? Because you're not Australian,
Yeah,
but
no.
you are living in Australia and have been for quite some time, right?
Yeah, it started like when I was 18. I literally finished school and I was not ready. I always thought that I would like get into studying straight away. And then after finishing my exams that were so stressful, I just felt like I needed a break and kind of felt inspired to get as far away from my hometown as possible. And
You're from Germany,
yes, Germany.
far away from Tasmania.
Black Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area, but I just wanted to, have a different experience. Obviously, kind of develop my English skills as well. And so I applied to become an au pair in Perth. And I was living with that family for about a year. And then, decided to stay, like, for multiple reasons. One of them being, like, I'd met someone. And then also I just really loved Australia, the lifestyle here and everything about it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long way from home. I think that would have been pretty scary, right?
It was so scary. And I was having such a hard time to adapt, like, at such a young age. Like, leaving my family, there was always, like, that back and forth with, like, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, it was definitely a challenge to also just find like a sense of community and all of that. It definitely, like in my 20s, it was hard. Yeah, really hard.
Wild time. Like
Yeah.
most of us in our 20s. Was there like some sense of expectation, whether it was your family, your friend group, to go like straight into uni after finishing high school and sort of follow a certain path? And
Yeah, I think it's very German, that kind of
Right.
lifestyle to study or do an apprenticeship and you kind of just go straight into work and kind of make that your main goal. And so that's kind of what I enjoyed about Australia, that it's not really like that. I feel like people here really work to live and not the other way around.
yeah.
And that was so refreshing. So I'm like, really
Yeah,
glad
it does feel a bit like Australia has a very relaxed lifestyle
Yeah.
in general, and more people are like searching for alternate career paths and
Yeah.
more freedom and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that was probably pretty refreshing
It
coming over.
was. Yeah.
And you came to Perth, which is the best city in Australia.
Arguably, I mean, Tassie's pretty cool as well, but
Yeah, I'm biased.
Perth is always going to have a special.
You lived in Western Australia for a long time, hey? We never crossed paths then.
No.
Obviously, I'm from West Oz and we've only met pretty recently. But what was your time like in Western Australia? Did you adapt to the Aussie lifestyle of beaching it and the ocean and
The
all that kind of
ocean,
stuff?
definitely. I did get into surfing a little bit as well. I was living like first north, then south of Perth, and then moved to Exmouth for a couple years, which was like my first little taste of like living in a small remote town. And I think that place really inspired me to buy the van and like do van life and just have that freedom of traveling around. And yeah.
Was your plan when you came to Australia to stay for that year with that family that you
Yeah.
and then go home? Was
Yeah,
that
it was meant to be 6 months, and then I
6
kept
months?
changing my flight. And yeah, at some point, I did have to go back to Germany because my visa expired. But then, with like the person that I was with at the time, we did the whole partner visa thing. And so, yeah, I came back after like a few months and decided to stay. Like,
What was the draw to stay? Like, what was the couple of things that you were like,
yeah.
I could see myself being here long term?
I really loved how you can get to places that just feel so remote and there's like not many
Mm,
people there. It's really rare in Germany that you can do that because obviously it's a small country, and Europe itself, like it's such a small place, but
everything's
so many
jammed together,
people.
and there's
Yeah,
so many human beings here.
yeah. So I think that was definitely a big, I was very drawn to that. Just,
Did
mm,
you hike much in Western Australia? Because
mm,
you're super into hiking now. For anyone
yeah.
who follows Susie, you'd know that.
Yeah. I would love spending time in nature, but I didn't really hike that much.
Mm,
Before I started really like getting into hiking this year, I think the most I've done was like on a trip in Norway, like years and years ago. And like I really loved it then. Yeah, this whole time like living in a van, I loved hiking, but never would have thought I would get into like multi-day hikes or like
yeah,
through hiking. So that was like completely new to me. Yeah.
yeah. So was part of the reason that you wanted to come to Tasmania, which is literally like another country. Like it's so
It
far
feels
from
so
Western, it's so
different.
far
Yeah.
away, and it's so different.
Yeah.
Was part of that because of the nature, the wilderness, the lifestyle here?
Yeah, because well, buying the van, I just knew instantly that Tasmania was the perfect place for van life because there's so many beautiful free camps here, and yeah, it just felt really wild and remote. So I knew that I was very drawn to coming here at first. Initially, I had booked a ferry to explore Tassie for 2 months, and then I was like, I didn't even like scratch the surface of
Yeah.
what I wanted to see. So I kept changing my ferry and then eventually decided to just stay over the winter and then do another summer. And like now I'm still here and so many things have happened that was just a clear sign for me that I needed to be here. And I think we'll get into that later as well with
Yeah.
yeah.
You've done so much because you initially were going to do like a big lap of Australia, and
Yeah, I was so convinced that I would just do the lap of Australia in a year, and then somehow I just felt like this is really the place for me right
mhm.
now and this is where I need to be. So,
Sometimes the place just feels like home the first
yeah,
time you get there.
yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
no, I totally get that. I mean, there's a reason Tassie's by far my most visited state. I just keep coming back and back.
Yeah.
This trip's been incredible. It's just like,
It's only been a week, like, and
yeah,
we
this
got,
trip's just been super quick, but
mm,
yeah, there's just so much. If you like hiking,
yeah,
there's endless
it's,
adventure here.
yeah,
And there's nowhere else in Australia that has quite the wilderness that Tassie does, where it's
yeah,
so remote and wild. You just feel like you're out there and
mm,
away from everything.
yeah,
And even when you're doing some of the driving around Tassie, you can just drive to places where there's just
yeah,
nobody for a long way, and you can park up. And obviously, you've got that freedom with the van
yeah,
to be able to do that. And yeah, I've been. I think this is my fifth trip to Tassie.
mm-hmm.
Every time I come here, I just hike the whole time, and I still have
There's still
barely.
more
There's
to
still
see.
so much to
Yeah,
see. It's a very very special place. I think Tassie
yeah,
is like world class hiking in
yeah,
Australia, and we don't have like big mountains or anything, and like we have some cool trails in different states, but the volume of 10 out of 10
I love the
tracks here.
variety as well. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, Freycinet, it's beautiful beach hiking and all that. Then, like, the Tasman Peninsula is like these incredible cliffs. And then, like, you drive a few hours and you're like in the mountains. And it just feels like sometimes it still feels a little bit surreal to me that
Hmm.
such a small place can be so jam packed with these incredible hikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfection. What's the journey been like for you transitioning from living in a house to a van? Because obviously that's a pretty big jump, and it's such a small place. For people watching on video, you can see Tilly in person. For the listeners, jump over to YouTube and you'll be able to see. But I know from just talking to you, like, you know, it's definitely a different vibe, and there's many pros that come with it. The freedom, and it's cheap. You don't have to pay rent, but there's also, you know, downsides as well.
There's just so much to talk about when it comes to van life. I think the main thing for me was obviously because my van is quite simple. I don't have a bathroom. I don't have a shower. So and I obviously don't have a washing machine. So you're just like, sometimes I feel like it can get a little bit exhausting because you're constantly looking for things. Like you're looking for a place to sleep. You're looking for where can I use the bathroom? Where can I shower today? Like all of those things. But I think in general, I just love the space. I love the simplicity of it. It like really made me downsize heaps. I got rid of literally all of my stuff when I moved into the van, and it was just refreshing, like having only the things that I really, really need. And yeah, I loved that aspect of it. And then obviously being able to park up in nature, and then sometimes, you just kind of like, I get all my paint stuff out and I'm able to just like be surrounded by trees. It's so nice. But it's always like, I feel like for me, my moods can shift so quickly because there's like not a lot of stability in this kind of lifestyle. Because you're like, moving a lot. And then sometimes you're really grateful for that freedom, and other times you're like, I need a break. Like I need to just be like settled for like a few days. And
I know, like, Instagram makes van life look like just this perfect life where everything goes right all the time. You have pure freedom 24/7 and nothing goes wrong. But I'm sure reality is probably slightly different. Different. Rangers knocking on the window sometimes telling you can't park here, or like, you know, having to do, like some of the hikes you do, you get muddy and filthy and you don't have a shower or a washing machine. It's like trying to manage all of these things.
That's right. One thing that I have done recently is sign up to the gym. So now I've got hot showers, at least when I head back into the city. But it is like really challenging, and you do sort of get used to, I guess it's nice to just not always rely on those things, you know, not because I think like as humans, we're just in this, like in a society now where we're like have multiple showers a day even. And I don't think you necessarily need that. And sometimes I really love just going for an ocean swim or going for a dip in the river. And like, it's just like those natural things that really like connects you back to that. And that's really simple, but it's nice.
It's the reason I love through hiking and long distance trails, is because it just simplifies everything. It's so true. When you're in a city and you have everything you could ever want or need, you know, at your fingertips, you can just like bloody Uber Eats. You know, you can order food to your door. You have to get up off the bloody couch if you don't want to these days. Life can be very, very easy. And stripping things back and forcing yourself to not rely on all those sort of luxuries that we get in modern life is really nice. Like being out on trail, not showering for a week except for in a waterfall or a lake. And
and it just kind of surprises you how little you actually need to be so content.
It's crazy. Like, you know, I can live on trail for 6 months with 5 kilograms worth of gear on my back. That's like actually all you need. You actually don't need a house and all of these fancy things and like you just don't need much. And we've definitely lost that, I think, a bit in Western life, where we're all very we're very privileged.
Have so much space to move around in, and
and that's the beauty of like putting yourself in situations where you have less as well. It kind of like helps you grow and realize that not everyone has all this, for one, and two, you can still be extremely happy and thrive without all these things. And van life's just another version of that, isn't it?
It is,
Yeah, that's super cool. What are some of the things that, like, you know, if you follow a van lifer on Instagram, you see all the good stuff. What are some of the things that you wouldn't see? Like,
okay, what I've been struggling with a lot lately is like people don't realize this, but this is my house. And so sometimes I'm parked up somewhere, and yeah, if I have the door open for like some fresh air, people literally see it as an invitation to come like stick their head through my door and like start talking to me when I'm like in the most, like when I'm just having some me time, when I'm journaling or something, and I'm like just enjoying my morning routine, there'd be someone like having a chat. And I honestly love that as well, that side of it, that people just ask questions about the van and things like that. But it's not always that you feel up for talking to someone when you've just rolled out of bed or something. And
I mean, when I roll out of bed at home in my bedroom, I definitely wouldn't want someone just walking in and saying, "What's up?" You know, it makes a lot of sense.
But so yeah, that's what I've been struggling a little bit with, and I'm definitely getting better at setting those boundaries, so being nice about it, but being like, "Hey, sorry, I'm just like, yeah."
Mm-hmm. You need like a do not disturb sign to hang off the door.
Yeah.
Currently occupied.
Yeah, so that's like one of the things. I don't think there's anything else. Like, yeah, I guess sometimes when you park in different spots to sleep, like not getting enough sleep when there's like noise going on around, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like what I've been struggling with a little bit these last few months, but
yeah, and it's not the stuff you probably see online.
No, although I would love to post about it more. I should really be like, yeah, this is what happened today.
Yeah, 100%.
And I want to be more, but in the moment, I'm just so frustrated that I don't want to like jump on my stories and be like, hey guys, like, but I do want to be more authentic. And
it's kind of hard because like you want to share the good stuff. It's the same with hiking. Like,
yeah,
I think a lot of people, including myself at times, just make like through hiking look all glamorous and fun all the time, but it sucks a lot of the time as well.
A lot of,
you know, like
especially for us these last couple of days.
Yeah, we've had some adventures this week where it's like just straight up not fun, whether it's weather or just fatigue or like you run out of food, like all kinds of things can happen. But then like in the vlog that I post online, it's like, this was the best day ever. Look at the views and
looking back at it, you're like, this was literally the best time ever. Yeah. But also,
that's the thing about hiking is there's so much type 2 fun where like in the moment it kind of sucks, but you look back on it with such fond memories that's all that you think about sharing. Yeah. What drew you to hiking? Because that's been a more recent sort of thing that you've been really into the last year or so, right?
Yeah.
And living in Tassie, you've just got it on your doorstep everywhere. Yeah. What do you love about it?
What do I love about it first? Or what drew me to hiking?
Yeah, what drew you to hiking, I guess? They're two different questions.
Okay, yeah. So when I first moved to Tassie and I was sort of like spending the winter here, I had a few things happen that really kind of like it was definitely like a low point of my life. Like the van had some electrical issues and had to be written off. It was a repairable write-off. So that was really stressful, like losing my home, losing like that investment that I just made. Then also I was stuck in a really small town in like this like tiny little country town of Derby, and there's not a lot of people living there, especially during winter. Like it's just very quiet. So I feel like I struggled with the community aspect. Like I was very lonely. I feel like I wasn't moving my body. I was putting on weight and all of that. So it was like those mental struggles, financial struggles, and then also like physically not feeling and I at the time, I remember lots of my Perth friends actually were sharing your PCT vlogs on their stories. And that's when I started following you. And I feel like you just really inspired me to get outside. I just had this deeper knowing that will literally fix all of my problems.
Wow.
And I like worked as hard as I could. Like I worked 3 jobs to just save up money, get all the gear that I needed. And I knew that I wanted to hit the road once Tilly was all fixed up again. I just wanted to hit the road and hike and just be in nature, like find like that connection with myself again. And so that was like really special to me to just like get outside. And as soon as I did that, I feel like all that anxiety that I was feeling, all of that just kind of fell away. Like it was just gone, like instantly. I had so many moments. Actually, the 3 Capes track was the second hike I did in Tassie. And I like had a moment where I was getting just so emotional, just being out there, seeing the beauty of it all and just like feeling so grateful to be able to do that. So that I think that really drew me to hiking, the aspect of like moving your body, challenging yourself, and also like being outside. And
and once you feel that once, it's like, holy crap, this is the cure to so many things.
It is.
And that's when you are just drawn to keep going back outside, because it keeps giving you that. And that's been the story of my life as well. Outside just brings such a peace.
It does.
In all aspects of life. And when you add in the physical challenge, you know, having to be really mentally strong at times when the weather goes bad, or you have to push, you know, a bit harder one day or whatever it is, all these things combine to just make you a stronger person. Yeah. And it's so powerful. And that's why I just keep preaching to get outside, to anyone listening, just to go outside.
You convinced me.
And you're doing the same thing now. You're inspiring people to go outside, maybe for the first time.
Yeah.
What was your first overnight hike like? What trail was that, and how did it go? Was it solo?
It was solo, yeah.
Nice.
I actually hiked solo.
Because it's a scary thing.
It is so scary. The first hike that I did, I wanted to start with an easy one. So I started with Walls of Jerusalem. That was, definitely.
Give us some context on the Walls of Jerusalem. How long is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a loop, and it's meant to be like 2 nights, 3 days.
Yeah.
And that's what I initially wanted to do. I then shortened it to, I think, was it 3 nights? So
maybe.
Wild Dog Campsite, then Dixon's Kingdom, and then Lake Adelaide. I think I just did 2 nights.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to stay at Lake Adelaide. At the time, I just got there so early. So I was like, I may as well just push on.
Yeah.
But it was definitely interesting because I hadn't done anything like that before. And I was just so scared that I wasn't prepared enough, that my gear wouldn't hold up, and I would just have like those kind of issues, or like wouldn't have enough food. Like there's just so much to think about, even if it's just a short hike.
Of course, yeah.
At the beginning, like it can be a little bit daunting, especially when you're doing it solo. But I actually met so many incredible people on that trail, and the weather did turn on the second day, but it was like great. I just loved being out there, and
going outside for the first time can be daunting for sure. Like I get so many messages from people who are like, I want to go outside and do what you're doing, but it's like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Like, what was the process for you to like building up the courage and the confidence to head out?
I get this question I get asked a lot, actually. And I think for me it was obviously doing, first of all, like so much research on gear, and then feeling like really, really comfortable with what I had. Then like going on like the Tasmania Parks and Wildlife website, because they have walk notes and they kind of really prepare you pretty well for the hike. So I was like reading those pretty in depth. And then also going on all trails as well, downloading the map, the offline map, and then reading some of the comments, just so I'd know what I get myself into. And then obviously you're still scared. Like you're always going to be scared.
Yeah, that first step out of the car park, you're like, what am I getting into? You just don't know.
You just don't know.
It's the same as anything that you do for the first time. It's like a bit of an unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like about stepping into it, because it's not about being like fearless. It's just about doing it anyway. And I guess just getting then figuring out, hey, I'm actually capable of doing this. And then just building that confidence from there. So I think it's important to start with something that is really easy, and you just then slowly build up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had you done a bunch of day hikes and stuff as well prior to that first overnight, or did you just jump straight in?
No, I just jumped straight in. I was so excited for my first hike, and I just wanted to be an overnighter. Initially, when I got the van, I knew that I would love being just camping out in, national parks and all of that stuff. But at some point, I realized that wasn't enough for me anymore. I wanted to get to the more remote places, and you do that by multi-day hikes, because you really get out there and there's nothing around, there's no reception, and that's sort of the experience that I was looking for. So I think the only thing that I sort of trained prior was I was doing lots of trail running in Derby before I left on my road trip again.
Yeah, it's just about doing it, hey, just jumping in. And like you say, the more you do that, the more you build confidence.
Yeah.
And slowly you become more comfortable doing harder trails and longer trails. And eventually doing crazy trails,
Yeah.
which you've done, plenty of wild stuff here in Tassie now, which is the
Yeah,
beauty of
especially
Tassie.
with you. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
that's the other thing
was
is
still building
if you
that
find crazy
confidence.
friends who are a little bit crazier than you,
Yeah.
that's a
You
way to
definitely
fast track your growth.
you have a talent to push me to do things that I usually wouldn't do. But you also make me feel comfortable doing
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I love solo hiking so much, but
Mm,
I've fallen more and more in love with hiking with people over the last couple
yeah.
of years because you do push each other and you provide that security for each other to do things that are
Yeah.
outside your comfort zone. And
Hmm.
it's just a faster way to grow and
It
do
is.
things that you
Yeah.
didn't think you could do. And it's just a good time
It
with
is.
good people as
I
well.
really love the chats that we have on trail as well. It's
Yeah,
so nice.
it's the best.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of solo hiking after the Wars Jerusalem? You did the
Hmm.
three capes and then you just kept
And
going
then I
out.
did Maria Island and then worked my way up like the East Coast. So Freycinet Circuit, the Leah track, which was very challenging, very
And these were
overgrown.
all solo?
So I actually met a couple of girls on the Freycinet Circuit, and with one of them I did the Leah track. And then I went to do Frenchman's Cap, and that's where I met you. So
That's
that
where we
one was
met, yeah.
solo as well, but
Hmm.
I actually met you on the summit, which was pretty epic. Like,
Yeah, that was my last trip to Tassie before this one.
hmm
And yeah, we literally just crossed past on the summit of Frenchman's Cap, which is like this. It's probably the coolest mountain in
yeah,
Tasmania. It's just this huge white rock that's just you can see
wild.
it from 100 miles in every direction. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess
That was so surreal for me because I'd been following you and obviously I knew you were in Tassie and I was just like I was up on the summit for like an hour already and
yeah.
there was just so much cloud and I was like, this is not gonna happen tonight. I'm just gonna do sunrise the next day. And literally as I was walking down, you walked up and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
briefly chatted
Mm.
and I was like, yeah, I'm committing to the sunset. You should totally stay. And you
I'm
did.
so glad I
And it
did.
ended up
Yeah.
being probably
It's
the best sunset of my life.
It
Like,
still
it's up
is
there.
to this
I can't
day.
think of a
I'm
better
like,
one than that.
no, that was pretty
We
epic.
just had like all the cloud that was on the cap, like sunk into the valley,
Yeah,
and then it just glowed orange and it was magic.
yeah.
Yeah, the Frenchman's Cap is an incredible multi-day hike.
Hmm.
That was super cool. And what was next?
What was next after that?
You've done the bloody Tassie tour. You've hiked a lot.
Yeah, I did Lake Rona after that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was one, but Lake
The
Rona
infamous,
was.
the infamous Lake Rona.
Yeah.
Tell us
That
about
is
Lake Rona.
okay. So that is quite a story because I was literally convinced that this like trail is cursed because I had tried to hike it so many times. One time I had to cancel because of the weather. The second time I drove up and I couldn't get through to the car park because like a tree had fallen and was like blocking the road completely. I couldn't get through. So I had to turn around on this crazy road.
It's a sketchy road, yeah.
So sketchy. And then the third time I went up there, actually got to the car park, started hiking about half an hour to the river crossing. And I looked at the river crossing. Just didn't feel safe to do it to me. Like the tree, what do you
It's
call
like
them?
a tree bridge that
Yeah,
people typically use to cross that.
it was kind of immersed in water.
It's like a 30-meter wide river. It's a hectic river,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the water flow was so strong. I was like just not feeling comfortable doing it. So I turned around that time and then actually because I posted it on my story, some people said, oh, there's actually another crossing. Like you should go back and go to that crossing. And I was like, yeah, perfect. So literally a week later, I went back, finally was able to cross the river, hiked through all of the mud to get to Lake Rona. And I think there was one other couple there the first night and the second night I had the place to myself. So it was so special. But yeah, on the way back, that river crossing, I saw that the water had dropped a little bit at the main river crossing. And so I thought I may as well just cross here and not like go out of my way to go back to the other one. And yeah, as I did that, I slipped and it all happened so fast. Like I couldn't even tell you how, like I was holding my trekking poles in one hand and I don't know how this happened, but I literally broke both of my wrists. And I was just in shock. Like I was in the riverbed, but there was like, it was like the edge of it. So there was no water there. I had just kind of fallen onto all of these tree bits.
Yeah, like sticks and stuff.
Yeah, it was wild.
Jeez.
And my head was like, I was just in so much shock and looked down at you saw the photos. My wrist was completely.
Have you posted those photos online?
I have actually, at the time.
I remember when you posted it, it was like, that doesn't look right.
No,
at all.
A bit of a shock. And I was like, okay, how do I get out of here? Because you know how deep it is as well. So, and the tree, I sort of had to pull myself up with my heavy pack as well. Like I pulled myself up on my elbows to try and get out, and almost lost my phone a couple times in the process, which that was kind of like how I was able to contact the emergency services. And it was just super scary. I thought to myself, I'm so close to the car park, like surely I can just hike back. But then I was starting to get so dizzy.
Was it like really painful straight away, or was the shock kind of covering up?
The shock was kind of covering up.
But you could see
but
your
I was
wrists.
shaking and I was just like not in a good,
So you must have braced with both hands as you fell and just like...
Yeah, so I kind of fell to the side a little bit, but I think because maybe I was like halfway up this massive tree bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe I kind of got caught in on that. I'm not too sure exactly how it happened.
Would have happened in like half of a second.
Yeah, but I initially thought maybe I can just get myself back to the van, but then realized how remote I actually am.
And how do you drive a van with two blunted
exactly,
wrists?
like I would never be able to drive myself 3 hours to the hospital. So I just sort of sat down. I got myself out of that river and then sat down and called for the emergency services. And I was like getting so cold, like I was shivering. I was just in shock. Everything was hard to type. And I think like about 15 minutes later, there was 2 doctors that were like hiking into Lake Rona, and they found me.
Handy.
Yeah, and they just took such good care of me. They like wrapped me up in my sleeping bag and gave me some painkillers and made me hot chocolate. And it was, they were trying to make me laugh and just kind of keep me awake, I guess, because I was starting to get really tired and not really responsive at all.
And then the helicopter came.
It felt a little bit surreal. I was like, is this actually happening? Because, it didn't feel... Even when I messaged my friend when I got to the hospital, I was like, it's nothing bad. I just kind of broke both of my wrists, so I might need your help, but like it's nothing bad.
Yeah.
Because I felt fine. In the moment, I felt fine, but I didn't realize, I think it only clicked later on how much help I would need over like the following 6 weeks. I was just literally not able to do anything. I had like a cup of tea weight bearing on both wrists.
Wow.
6 weeks.
So what was the process of recovery? There was like 2 proper broken wrists. So.
Yeah. Well, I had surgery.
Right.
The left one, luckily, was only a closed reduction, and the right one, they had to open it up, put a plate and screws in, and but I guess because they had the open reduction on the right one, I was able to have that in a splint after a couple weeks. So that was kind of good because I was able to get my strength up quite quickly on that one. But overall, it was just, quite challenging.
How do you go back to the trail after? I mean, that sounds traumatizing. Like, did you have some sense, like some PTSD about heading back out with a heavy pack into the wild again? Like, I've never had to be, thankfully, fingers crossed it doesn't happen, but I've never had to be rescued off trail like that. But I can imagine it would be, like a traumatizing experience. What was coming back like? Like, were you nervous to come back to the trail? Do you have like reservations about doing something like that again? Or you're like, maybe this isn't for me, or like...
I was so worried about, I was really worried about it because I love hiking so much, but I did have a lot of anxiety about going back. Because for me, it was like, okay, if I fall again and accidentally land on my wrists, as you do like automatically, that would just be like when they're still in that healing process. I was just so worried that would happen. And I was definitely like doubting my capabilities as well as I was like still recovering and all of that. But I also knew that there was literally, like, I could not imagine not hiking. So I knew that I had to make it work somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sort of, I think I just had to do like some baby steps. So to start with like small day hikes and then kind of work my way up again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ease back in.
Ease back into it.
Yeah, that's it's a wild experience. And obviously, like, so this week we went back to the Lake Rona track,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I had never hiked it before, so I was like, Susie, take me out there. You can be my tour guide. You've
I was
been
so
there a few
resistant.
times.
I was like,
but
I do want to do it again, but I was like,
you told me when we got there, you're like, I feel like this hike is cursed. But we broke the curse. We got out and we got back safely, which was amazing.
Such a relief, honestly. It's such an amazing hike. So I'm so glad that we went back and were able to. It was like such a cool experience just doing it with you and having that just emotional support, especially the river crossing is what I was so scared of. But yeah, having your help there to get across was definitely amazing.
No, it was all you, mate. The curse is broken, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
This episode of the Life Outside podcast is proudly brought to you by OptiVenture, the world's first all-in-one supplement specifically designed for outdoor adventurers. It's been my favorite health, performance, and recovery tool for the last couple of years, both in training and while on trail. It's super simple. Just take 3 sunrise capsules each morning for sustained energy and to help optimize gut health, immunity, and mental clarity, and then take 3 sunset capsules at night to help sleep more deeply, recover more efficiently, and keep inflammation low. I've used it on long trails like the Pacific Crest, as well as on my Bibbulmun track fastest known time completion, and I also just use it in my daily life as it replaces more than 10 individual supplements. It's simple, comprehensive, and built for my adventurous lifestyle. If you want the easiest, most effective way to stay healthy, perform well, and recover faster both on and off the trail, I can't recommend it enough. Head to optiventure.co and use Life Outside for 10% off your order. All right, let's get back into today's episode. Yeah, I felt like you got back to hiking pretty quick. Like, did you that 5 or 6 weeks of recovery, like, did you start to feel the change in your mental state, your body, like from not hiking? Like, was there a noticeable difference where you're like, damn, I actually need this in my life, like, and not being able to do it is something that I can like feel tangibly?
Definitely, yeah. And so pretty much what happened as soon as I got my cast off. Another thing that you probably don't really think about as well. The casts were quite heavy to begin with. So I was trying to go on walks, but literally when they put the casts on, my arms were still so swollen and then the swelling went down. So the casts were moving like so much on my arm. And every time I was walking, I felt like I was carrying these bricks around and they were like moving down to my fingers and like my fingers got numb and like it was just hard to move in general, even though I could still use my legs.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. Yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. But literally as soon as I got the casts off after 6 weeks, like the next day I flew to Germany. And it probably wasn't a good idea to travel then because I couldn't carry my own bags. I couldn't pick anything up. I always had to ask for help at the airports. But I just wanted to get, to my family, have that quality time with them, and then get back into hiking. Yeah.
How long have you been creating content around hiking, like?
I pretty much started just sharing like a couple videos here and there of my first hikes because I just really wanted to capture that first just like for myself because it was such a new thing for me and I loved just like having those like memories to look back on.
It's the best thing
It
ever.
is. And
you can look back on your broken wrists.
Oh, yeah.
You can look back on the good times as well. It's nice to be reminded.
Yeah, it is. So I started in probably February this year. Yeah. And just been creating content ever since.
Yeah. So what's that journey been like as well?
It's been really fun just capturing everything and also like a creative outlet for me to just kind of tell a story in that way. And it also surprised me how I was approached by I had my first brand deal probably like a couple months into that journey. And that was like a huge eye opener for me, because I thought, okay, if I can actually do something that I love and also get paid for it, that would literally be my dream. And then also meeting you on top of Frenchman's Cap, and I feel like you really gave me so much encouragement, and that was also like a really cool experience as well. And I feel like pushed me to keep going with it and just kind of committing to it. I think you just have to really stay consistent with it and just treat it as a job. Yeah.
You do, yeah. But it's the best job in the world
best.
if you can make it work.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part, is to enjoy the whole process. So if you've got that down, you know, you enjoy telling a story and being creative, and obviously you enjoy the hiking and the things you're filming, then it can be a career. And like, obviously you live in a van, so you have this very free sort of lifestyle. So it just makes sense to do something like that as a job, because previously, like, what have you done for work? Like, how have you sustained yourself in the van?
Yeah, I mean,
you kind of have to base yourself somewhere if you want to get a regular job, right?
Yeah. I was just working in hospitality, to be honest, like just picking up different jobs here and there. I worked at a sauna, I worked at a hotel, and just, having those kind of jobs, which I was obviously thinking about, like, how can I live this kind of lifestyle and still go on these hikes? But it's really hard to do, because most of the times that you're based in one place and then you're working for like 4 days a week, and then you only have like a few days to get out. And if you want to get to remote places, it can be challenging. So this has definitely been just amazing, having that freedom of like, van life has been so good for me, because I can just listen to my body and be like, hey, this week I feel like I just really need to get outside. So I drive out, hike for a little bit, and then come back and have a bit of a reset. So that's been really cool.
And it's obviously a lot cheaper than like renting a house or something as well.
Yeah.
So you're not as pressured to like have a full-time job,
money.
make a full-time job, get this career. Like, if you want to live a very flexible lifestyle, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's the same as through hiking. A lot of people feel prohibited to like do a big hike or whatever, because it seems really expensive, but it's actually so much cheaper than just living in a house at home. If you can be homeless, essentially, like whether it's in a van or a tent.
Yeah.
Often there's like a bit of an upfront cost. Obviously there is for a vehicle or to get all your gear.
It's a big investment.
But it is, it's a very like cheap and sustainable hobby, I feel like.
Yeah. And even like all the hiking we just did in Europe as well. Like, I have probably never traveled that cheap. Like, sometimes you just take a bus, an overnight bus somewhere, and then you're on trail, and all you're paying for is just cheap food. Like that you, and it's actually
the best way to travel.
It is, because you really see everything. Like,
you see so much more, and so much more intricately as well.
Yeah.
You probably can't travel as far of a distance than if you were driving or taking a train around, but I always tell people the best way to see a place is to like walk it.
Yeah.
And like, I was in Europe for 60 days. 51 of those days was on trail, which means there was 51 days that I had free accommodation, because I was just wild camping. Or I guess we were in Spain a bit, paying for hostels, which was like $10 a night. But compare that to like staying in a city or city hopping and hotels and hostels. It's such a cheap way to travel. It's incredible. I get most people, like a lot of people don't want to hike for their holiday, but my goal is to make it more, like make more people do it, because it's the best.
It is. And before we went hiking in France, I actually had a short trip in the Dolomites where I had a car. So I rented a car, and also it was just really hard to wild camp there. So I had to pay for accommodation, and it was just so expensive. And I didn't have a great time, because I felt like it was just, more exhausting, like driving to places, rather than just like, hey, I have no car. All I've got is my backpack, and here I go. Like, it's just, really freeing, kind of.
It is. Yeah. It's incredible. I'm just like, I'm thinking about my wife. And so that I know there are people that like don't love living in the dirt. So I totally get people that prefer a shower and a bed and that kind of stuff.
But it also
it is nice to have that sometimes.
It is. And it feels more, but it feels to me like it feels extra special when I haven't showered in a while, and then you get a shower and it's like, oh yes, this is what I've been missing.
Yeah. I think Yeah, a lot of people that I talk to that don't hike are always shocked at the lack of showers and the
Yeah.
general hygiene on trail, and probably van life is a similar thing
It's very
when you don't
similar.
have an inbuilt shower.
Sometimes you just have to wet wipe it and like, yeah,
Yeah.
you do get
Yeah.
used to it.
But that's the good thing about trail is like everyone's in the same situation. Everyone stinks and
Yeah,
everyone's filthy, and you just
it's just
you
normal.
just have to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm I always know that I'm getting really bad when I can start smelling myself, and I can tell that I smell bad because I can handle a lot of my own stench. Like 5 days or so, I'm like, it's all good. But then after that, I can actually start smelling myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I'm smelling this, what is everyone else smelling? It's not.
But you're outside, so it's not as bad as if you're in an enclosed space.
So that's the problem. Like you jump on a train after you finish the hike or something, or whatever it is. You get to a town. But we love it. We embrace it.
Yeah.
What have I've got a podcast episode planned in a couple of weeks where I want to because I've done a lot of hiking in Tassie now. I want to do like a tier list of all the multi-day hikes in Tasmania.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be fun to go through them all.
Mm-hmm.
What would your top couple of Tassie trails be that you've done so far?
Right. So I obviously, because I've only started hiking this year,
You've done a lot in a year though.
Yeah, but I also was kind of sticking to more of like the well-maintained trails and like easy, to get into hiking. But my favorite one, and I actually went back to this one after the first time I hiked it because I loved it so much, is Walls of Jerusalem. That is just such a good hike for people to get into hiking. Like if I haven't done a lot of it, it's got awesome campsites and it's not like super difficult. There's so many epic side trips and so that's definitely a favorite. And then Frenchman's Cap, where I met you, which I still want to do a second time, but that time that we did it together, like it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And the third one, so I've just obviously Lake Rona is a bit of a I just love I just love Lake Rona, but also I've had mixed feelings about it. I was convinced it was cursed, but after hiking it with you, I think I've fallen into love, like in love with it again. Like it's so cool.
Lake Rona is like a couple other trails in Tassie where the approach is like kind of miserable. There's like mud and it's flat. But then you get to the place and it's like
how does this even exist?
Mm-hmm. Like, and it's so far from any road or any town or any civilization whatsoever.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. And it's insanely beautiful. Like there's a few other trails in the southwest like that, where when you're in the valleys and the flats, it's just muddy and crappy, but you get up into the range or up to a high lake and it's it's the best. We just did the Mount Anne circuit as well this week, which is another experience. That's probably
a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, that's a more advanced hiking trail in Tasmania, but I would say that's probably my top 3 maybe.
I loved it so much when we did it together, even through the challenging bits, but I feel like I want to get more comfortable with that kind of hiking. First, like I need to do more trails in the southwest because they're just complete different tier. Like it's just hectic.
There are tiers of difficulty in Tasmania. Like you said, the Walls of Jerusalem or the Overland Track are pristine trails that are very well looked after, and they're kind of catered to tourism and more beginners to multi-day hiking. Yeah. And then you like go into the southwest and there's like trails that kill people every year. It's like really serious hiking.
It's so serious. There was so many moments where I thought I literally don't know if I can do this. Yeah. And like if you hadn't been there to help me with my pack, I wouldn't have been I don't think I would be able to do it. But then also there's like no going back because you're like, what do? You've just like literally climbed down all these sketchy parts to get to this bit and you're like, I have no choice but to get through this.
Yeah, we talked a bit about that this week, and it's one of the reasons I love hiking and especially I love challenging situations on hikes because it's like, what do you do if something's really hard and you don't think you can do it? Like, you
just
you
that
have
focus,
to do it. You're out there.
literally,
Like you have no choice but to do it. And so it forces you to grow and overcome fear and stuff like that.
So good.
And sometimes that can be a bit sketchy for sure. And maybe it doesn't work out every time, but the Mount Ann circuit was certainly that this trip, even for me. I mean, like, we kind of underestimated how long it was going to take to do our first day on the circuit. And there's a lot of what is probably more aptly described as like climbing rather than hiking on that circuit, where you're pack hauling and you're using your hands a lot. And we were stuck on this ridge called Lightning Ridge as the sun set, which was the most beautiful view ever.
I'm so glad we got stuck there because
it was a silver lining.
Yeah.
But then descending that ridge in the dark was just kind of not fun.
Not fun. And my wrists were getting so it was like the kind of trail that I feel like, okay, I was using my trekking poles a little bit because my legs just felt like jelly. We had been going for at least 10, 11 hours at that point.
Big day.
And my legs
and
were
for
just
context, that 10 or 11 hours, we covered about 10 or 11 kilometers. That's the kind of trail this is.
Surreal.
It's not fast walking.
No, so slow going. And I was trying to use my trekking poles for that extra support, but I felt like my legs were kind of giving in a lot. So I was like, I feel like I need to get low and I need to actually be holding on to things with my hands. And as I was doing that more and like lowering myself and my heavy pack onto these like massive drops, my wrists were starting to get so sore. And I thought to myself, like, it was just definitely pushing me outside of my comfort zone. But it was like so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We pushed on and got to camp just before midnight. It was pretty rough going, but like, it's one of those things you just got to kind of laugh through it, because if you don't, you're going to cry and give up and lie down.
I think we got a bit loopy towards the end. We're like singing and like so weird.
But,
trying to keep going.
it's those days on trail that are that type 2 or type 3 fun, where like we're only going to look back on that fondly.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those days on trail that really push you and expand your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And like, if you think about a year ago about like doing something like, the Mount Ann track.
No, yeah, and especially with a heavy pack. I think that's the thing, because I'm really good with like those climbing sections and boulder hopping when I don't have a pack on. But then, with that pack, it's just like a whole another experience. And I would have never thought, like, start of this year, I literally would have never thought I'd do that.
And I think back 5 years as well, and the trails that I was really uncomfortable heading out on would be just like the easiest thing in the world for me to do right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, if you're consistent about pushing yourself and just like safely expanding your comfort zone, being sensible about it, but doing it consistently over years, it's pretty amazing what you can become really comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And you can end up, walking across countries and doing like the craziest trails and all this kind of stuff, which is just so fulfilling.
It is. And I feel like it always reflects back into your day-to-day life as well. Like that fact of like pushing yourself, expanding, and like also problem solving.
Yeah.
It's like a huge thing. That really resonated with me when you said that on trail the other day, because before you got here, I was like going through a fair bit of that. You just kind of get into a weird mindset. You're feeling a bit anxious. And I was like, I think I need this right now. I just need to step outside. And as soon as we stepped on trail, it was like, this is everything. Like, this is just what I'm focusing on. And it was just, so special just being present. And
it's so true how challenges on trail can sort of overlap with life experiences. It's like choosing to do the hard things out there helps you overcome the hard things that happen to you in everyday life. And that was like one of the big reasons I wanted to do that FKT on the Bibbulmun track, which is about a month ago. As we're recording this now, it's like, obviously I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to accomplish something, and I was really motivated by that. But I just knew that doing something that was so damn hard and actually achieving it would make everything else in life seem easy. And I always think about that when, like, I've got to, I'm working on the laptop and it's just like stressful, or like I'm anxious about something in life. I always fall back on these moments I've had on trails over the years that were just like so hard, but I overcame them.
And you chose to put yourself in those situations. So the way that you were phrasing it the other day is like, we don't like have to do this, but we get to do it. Like, this is
That's the mindset you've got to have when you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even those challenges are honestly like a blessing because you're just growing so much. And
life just becomes easier when you choose to do hard things regularly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be hiking. I mean, you can run, you can go to the gym, you can push yourself socially or, in your career, whatever it is. Like choosing to do hard stuff consistently just makes everything else in life easier and therefore more enjoyable, more fulfilling, and gives you more freedom. And it's honestly addicting.
Yeah.
Like that's why I keep going out and just like trying to find hard trails, super long trails, or trying to like do big long days and just like make things hard for myself.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of switched my mindset from trying to go really ultralight now, and just like carry heaps of weight for the sake of it because it's just hard.
Your pack was so heavy. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, like I kind of just, it's addicting.
Yeah.
Doing these hard things.
Those physical.
When you've experienced the benefits that come from it enough, you just want to keep going back for more.
Yeah.
Yeah, more pain, please.
Yeah. And I'm kind of at the moment going back, like lots of the trails that I started with beginning of the year, I'm sort of going back and like, those trails would be like multi-day trails. I'm going back to do them in one day. Or like tomorrow we're like planning to do the 3 capes and like just trail run it. And that's kind of like sort of what the challenges that I'm setting myself, which is really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool. What do we got? Like 55 Ks tomorrow? Sunrise to sunset.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big day. It's going to be hard, but hey, that's what we want, isn't it? Crazy.
It'd be too easy if we did it in 3 days.
Yeah. It'd be just boring. No, there is a time and a place for slow hikes.
There is. Especially when you do it with other people, it is actually nice because you can get to camp and you can have dinner together and
that's it.
Just chat and have like play card games, but also I really love the challenge as well.
Yeah, it's nice to have a bit of both. What's on the bucket list for you? What are some big adventures, some big trails that you wanna tick off now that you're a full-time professional hiking content creator? The world is your oyster.
Yeah.
What are you striving for?
I'm striving. Well, what am I striving for? I really want to like focus on some more challenging or longer hikes in Tassie this summer. So we're talking about the overland track, for example, because I've only done part of it. So I want to do the whole thing. Western Arthurs would be amazing. Definitely not one I want to do alone, but we'll see. And then, so there's just like the South Coast track, just like a lot of the Southwest I want to focus on and more on the West Coast because I haven't explored much of that side of Tassie. But then obviously because initially I was really inspired by like the hiking content you put out when you did the PCT. So that would be like a huge goal for me. I don't know if it's on the cards for me for next year. I kind of, I'm still like on the fence, but I would definitely love to do like a really like a long distance, like through hike, like a few months on trail. That would be epic.
You've got to do a long distance through hike. There's it's just a different world, like actually living on the trail. Like I feel like after about a month, it just all of a sudden feels like the trail is your home.
Yeah.
And you don't think about it as like I'm on a hike. It's like, no, I'm living out here.
Yeah.
And that switch in mindset and even in your body, like your body starts to adapt and realize that what we do in life is we walk all day, every day. That's what we do. It's just like it's a crazy feeling and it's so cool.
And I think that's probably what I need because right now, honestly, I love my van so much. And when I'm doing like a shorter hike, like just a couple nights or just an overnighter, I always look forward to coming back to the van so much. But if that's like not even an option and I'm just out there hiking, I would think I would just get used to it so much and just sort of adapt. And that's, I think, what I need. And then just really push myself in that physical aspect. And yeah.
I'll always encourage anyone I talk to who's interested in hiking to walk the Pacific Crest Trail. For those who've listened to the podcast for a while, you know how much I loved that experience last year. It was, it was just the best thing ever. And so hopefully you can get it done at some point. But no, it's awesome. Exciting summer coming up. Plenty of Tassie adventures.
Yeah, Tassie's just the best place to be in summer, I think. I'm sure you'll be back as well.
The problem with Perth, which is where I live, is in summer, all the hiking, there's no good hiking. You know, all the rivers dry up and the bush starts to die and everything, and it's obviously insanely hot.
Yeah.
And so Tassie in summer is just like the place to go if you want to hike. So
Yeah.
I might make another trip down here.
That would be
It's
awesome.
it's just too epic. What's your like goal with the content side of things? Like obviously you're really enjoying the process. You've been growing
Yeah.
your accounts and your confidence on camera, all this kind of stuff
Yeah.
over the last year. Like, what's your vision?
I think every decision I've made and like everything that I'm doing now is just kind of to create more freedom for myself. So my vision is really to be able to work from anywhere and obviously do what I love. It's like still so challenging and you're like working a lot of hours. Most people don't really see that, what that goes on behind the scenes. But I'm like so committed to making it work because also I think I just see myself like traveling more and like obviously my family's still back in Germany and I really miss them. So it'd be cool to not be like so tied to one place and just having to work like majority of the year and then having like a couple weeks off here and there to go and visit or like go on a quick holiday. Like I think my vision is just to be like have that freedom of just going anywhere and experiencing these things and like showing people also that they can do the same. I think that's been really special. Like I didn't think that honestly, like I was just sort of doing this for myself at the beginning and it didn't take too long until like I was all of a sudden getting lots of messages from women that also want to get outside and they're like, hey, can you give me some tips? Like and that's been like so special for me that someone actually feels inspired and thinks that, you know, would do the same to like heal their mental health, like anything that's going on in their life. Because I think that's really special as well.
Yeah.
To have that positive impact for people and just show that they can do these things.
That's incredible. What advice would you give to anyone listening who has those types of questions? Like, how can I get into it? Or like, is this something that would help me in my mental health struggles or struggles I'm having in relationship? Or like all these things. Do you have some pieces of advice that like you typically would reply to those people with?
Yeah, definitely. I think we kind of touched on it before. Well, for me, hiking has literally fixed all my problems. And I feel like people always joke about this in these reels. I'm like, hiking's not going to fix all your problems, but like, I'm going to try it anyway. Or have like, it just, but it, for me, it literally like did because I have found such incredible community. Like the hiking community is so supportive and then also like the financial freedom obviously that it's given me, but also kind of building that confidence in myself. I think what I would usually reply to people is like just starting really small. Like you don't have to overcomplicate it. You don't have to go out of your way to spend time outside, like, and just start small and do this little things. I think I also got a message recently from someone that really wanted to do van life and then had all these things that were kind of like in the way of it. And I was like, hey, if you can just find like you don't have to do it full time. Like you don't have to, like you can just maybe find a little, like a few days here and there to just get away on a trip by yourself and just have that time to spend outside and heal because like being in nature is so healing. I don't know if that answers your question. I'm not sure.
That's awesome.
Incredible. I think just small steps and just do that the best that you can.
It's easy as just like even just walking down your street, like you're breathing in fresh air that you don't get inside a concrete room staring at a screen. Or going down to your local park where you got trees and grass and you can walk barefoot.
It's so powerful.
It is very accessible for most people, I would say. And it is just about those small steps at the start.
Yeah.
And it can lead to doing some pretty cool things that could potentially change your life. You know, like it's happened for you, it's happened for me as well. And it's really just, super powerful.
Yeah.
Get outside, people.
Get outside.
The kookaburras are laughing and the sun is setting, so we'll probably wrap it up there. But thanks for making the time, mate.
Thank you. And, thanks for having me. Good chat.
Yeah, excited to go run the 3 Capes track tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Which, as we're recording this, it's like 10 hours away. So we'll get some sleep and we'll get going.
I'm so excited.
Where can people follow you?
On Instagram, mainly. That's where I post.
Yeah.
So it's just Susi.Ritter.
Susi.Ritter. I'll leave all your links in the description of this podcast. Anyway, go follow along the journey, get inspired, and yeah, you're awesome. Thanks, mate.
You're awesome.
If you guys enjoyed this episode of the Life Outside podcast, make sure to follow it and rate us 5 stars. Really appreciate all the support, guys. It's been really cool to see so many of you guys getting inspiration, motivation out of these episodes, and just really cool to chat to awesome people. I have the best time doing it, and yeah, just glad people listen. It's super cool. So appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.